Hello, hello, welcome. It's a new year and it's a new you. Here's to your good health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center. And tonight we have got Nashville Primary Care, Urgent Care, brand new, doing well. I'm so excited. We've got Dr. Emmanuel and one of her mid-levels, as I'm not supposed to call anybody but that term, but it sticks in my brain. He's a physician's assistant certified, Wayne Tamborelli. And so we're going to just chat with them tonight and find out what's going on in Nashville. So welcome, welcome. It's so good to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Wayne, I'm going to pick on you first because
Okay.
they know Dr. Emmanuel. So
All
you're,
right.
you're the new kid on the block.
All right.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. You from Tarboro, you said? Were you
No, not
born
a-
and raised there?
No,
or?
not originally.
Okay.
We were living in Tarboro before we moved to Red Oak.
Uh-huh.
But I went to school, grade school and all up in upstate New York,
Oh, yeah.
way
Okay.
upstate. And I've been down here for 50 years. And we've lived in Wilson, then Tarboro, and now we're in Red Oak.
Okay.
But I
All
was
right.
working in Roanoke Rapids for 23 years and then retired. And so now...
How's that going for you?
Well, it was a good month. And so Dr. Emmanuel called me up one day and said, would I like to join her in her practice? And I looked at my wife and I said, it was a good month. And so I work in the urgent care.
Okay.
And I really enjoy it.
All right, do you?
Yes.
Do you? So you work 5 days a week, or?
I work Monday through Thursday.
Okay. Get a long weekend.
Yeah.
I don't work on Fridays either.
Oh.
It's kind of nice.
It
It's
is
kinda
nice.
Yeah.
It is nice.
So where did you go to school? What made you want to become a physician's assistant?
Back in 1972, when it was such a new career, and I was thinking of med school, and my father's best friend was our family physician. And he said, you don't need to go to med school. There's this brand new career called PA. And I had no idea what that was, but I had a nursing degree. So it was either that, or at the time you had not a lot of options. There weren't nurse practitioners. It was a choice of nurse anesthetist.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I would get bored with that. So I went to PA school at Albany Medical College.
Okay. And you've been PAing ever since?
Ever since.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite? What different, is urgent care one of your favorite things
Well,
to do? Or?
I love it now because it is such a variety. Every single visit is a different patient, different problem. Before I was doing internal medicine, and over time that becomes the same patients with the same problems. You're just maintaining and marching. So I'm really enjoying the challenges now.
Yeah.
So much different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tired of primary care myself,
Yeah.
I'm really tired of insurance, to tell you the truth. That's my nemesis. I know that you all feel the same way. We're not going to go down that road because I'd probably get kicked off the air for things I say. So, Dr. Emmanuel, how's it going over there?
It's busy. It's very busy.
Good.
I've been overwhelmed with the amount of patients that followed me, and I have also referred their friends, family, and coworkers. I was saying that every day I probably have about 2 to 3 new patients, some days even more. That'll come in, lots of newborns, which I love.
Oh, do you?
I
That's
do.
your thing, newborns?
Yeah, I love the babies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I love my internal medicine patients too, but I really enjoy the babies.
Uh-huh. So you treat from birth to death, so to speak?
As my husband says, I can bring you into the world and I can take you out. Because I still do the hospice, so I have a lot of terminally ill patients, and then I still have my 2 nursing homes that I do and enjoy.
Yeah, you're a busy lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me your hours there.
So primary care, Monday through Friday. Thursday it's 8 to 5 and 8 to 1 on Friday for primary care. Urgent care is open 9 to 7 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 on Friday, and 8 to 1 on Saturday.
Okay, and so urgent care, you can just walk in, you have to make an appointment?
It's all walk-in.
All walk-in?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you never know what you're going to get. How
Nope.
many patients do you see?
It depends on the day. I would say on an average, it's probably between 2 of us, it's probably 30 apiece. Would be an
That's a
average.
lot of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
and some days are slower. The last couple of days have been a little bit slower. Hopefully the COVID flu is winding down. That's what
Yeah.
it seems to be.
Yeah.
That's what seems to have dropped off.
Yeah.
But there for a while it was really humming with a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I know.
November and December were our two busiest months.
Uh-huh.
And then right after Christmas, we had a spike in patient numbers. I think our busiest day between the two places, we had 106 patients that came through the doors
Oh, good grief.
on a Monday between 3 providers.
So you've got 2 providers at urgent care, is that
Mhm.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yep.
and then how many in your primary care with you?
Just me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
We had a little shift and had to switch gears about mid-November. So that's why there's just one primary person. But I'm looking to add on to the
Sure,
primary.
Sure. It's hard to find folks. We've got advertisements out and people come, but then they live in Rocky Mount for a year and they say, I'm gone, or the wife says, forget this.
Uh-huh.
The docs, usually the male docs, aren't too bad about it, but the wives, they want to go to Raleigh, they want to go to Greenville, they want to go to Chapel Hill, and you can't fight that.
No.
You just can't. So, well, I hope you find somebody. I'll keep my ears open.
We have somebody that's a student right now that, as long as everything works out, she'll join us in the fall.
Okay, well, that's good. But are you looking for docs as well, or are you gonna?
No,
Just,
just mid-levels.
Mid-levels,
Yes,
okay.
PA and nurse
Uh-huh.
practitioner.
okay. All right, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I don't.
Works pretty well for me. So tell me exactly, or tell the audience exactly what you offer at your clinic and your urgent care.
So in the urgent care?
Well, we'll start with urgent care.
Okay. Pretty much the urgent care does suturing, sports physicals, work employment physicals, a lot of, we have COVID and flu that we test for.
Mhm.
We have a x-ray. We have a procedure room. We've actually it feels like we've been used a lot as a mini ER. EMS has been to our facility at least several times a week.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we can do IV fluids,
Mhm.
which we've done quite a bit. Wayne does joint injections.
Okay. Good for you.
So whenever anybody wakes up and they don't feel well, it's hard to get an appointment. If they're, even with Dr. Mano, it's hard to get an appointment on a I want to see you right now basis.
Sure. Of
So they
course.
just come and we see them.
Mhm.
We see them for just about anything that walks through the door.
So does Haley do joint injections too, or just you at this point?
Just me at this point.
And is she suturing, or just you at this point?
She's done a couple. Yeah.
Was not my favorite thing. I
Yeah.
chose not to do that.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
not my favorite thing either.
Uh-uh.
So when I have to fill in
I
the
just
urgent
was
care, I
like
get
all
nervous.
thumbs trying to. I could get the suture through, but then tying it was my thing. I couldn't tie.
Uh-huh.
You have to tie too. You can't just.
Yeah, I know. You can't leave them open. It's not like sneakers.
No, no. So, and do you have full lab at your place, or?
We have a full lab. We run A1Cs, rapid strep, rapid COVID, flu, RSV, urinalysis, monospots, strep. I'm trying to think what else we run in house. Hemoglobins.
You do A1Cs too?
A1Cs are done in house,
Mhm.
so we have the results within 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially when somebody comes in and says, I'm so thirsty all the time and I'm really
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Let's check your A1C, because
Yeah.
you can get a sugar, but that's not going to give you the full picture. So
Right.
the A1C is good, then you know, oh, you definitely got to go on medicine or whatever.
That's right.
All right, and you
Whatever.
can make adjustments to the regimen real time instead of
Right.
waiting for your lab results
Right.
to come back and then having
Right.
to call the patient.
Right.
And
I know, it really is nice. We've got some of that where I work too, and it makes a big difference.
Mhm.
And I'm not seeing too much COVID or flu anymore either, like you guys. A lot of sinus stuff and coughs, these coughs that linger and last. What are you treating with that with? I'm picking your brain now to see what I'm
no.
doing right or wrong.
We're seeing a lot of it. We're looking for the initial source. The initial source
Sure.
oftentimes is COVID. Sometimes it's the flu, but even just the common respiratory viruses that have been around for thousands of years before anyone heard of COVID, people are getting a lot of lower respiratory infections, and then when they're well, the cough just won't go away. So, we have to treat symptomatically. If they need an antibiotic, they get it. If they don't need
Right.
it, we convince them they don't need it.
Right, I
and
know.
We just treat the
That's
symptom.
that's a job right there, convincing that.
But some of them, it's 3 months that they're coughing.
I know.
And I was coughing for the longest time, and Dr. Manu looked at me and looked at my X-ray and gave me some steroids, and it just totally went away. So it's a very nagging problem for people when it's present.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'd be in a
Same.
room with somebody talking, and then all of a sudden it would just start coughing, and I'd have to excuse myself because it wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
So I had to go to my office, get some water, step outside, and I would come back in. Okay, I can continue this interview. So,
That's a little annoying, but I know
yeah.
my husband had it, and I thought he was coughing up a lung there for a while. And as a provider, first of all, as a wife, I was upset because I don't want him to be sick. And then as a provider, it's like I did an inhaler, we did antibiotics, we did cough with codeine, we did, everything I knew to do, and it just took time.
And a long taper of steroids. I've been using quite a bit with some of these
I
lingering
think
coughs.
that's been my problem. I'm not giving it long enough. So
Yeah.
what do you give it for, like 14 days?
No, I do 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, 21 days.
21 days. Because
Okay.
David had it the 1st of December. And I told him if we don't get this, it was well into the middle of January before it completely went away. And it always seems to be worse. It would be worse at night.
Of course.
Yes, everything's worse than
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So, and right now, I don't know if you're experiencing it, but we are. There's a shortage on cough medicine with codeine. So-
And Medicare doesn't pay for any cough medicines, and
No.
so I haven't seen that because I don't do that much codeine. So I haven't. If it's happening, my patients haven't told me.
Right. So a lot of times in the urgent care, the patients will complain that's the worst symptom is the nighttime cough, and so we'll do some
Right.
Tussianex, but for 5 days, just to get them through the night.
Right.
But there's getting callbacks. The
Yeah.
pharmacy doesn't have the medicine. Several.
Is it
pharmacies.
all different pharmacies
It
or
is.
just specific ones?
No, it's all of them.
That's really frustrating to me too, that all these inavailability of pharmacies to get drugs, And then, of course, this is the first of the year, so you've been on Levemir for a year and everything was hunky-dory, and now the insurance says, oh no, you can't have Levemir. So, I'm seeing a lot of that, having to switch out one drug for another, whatever their insurance prefers this year.
Right.
So that's never ending. That happens every
And
year.
all the PAs that come with it.
Yes, yes, I know.
I'm so glad I'm out of that.
There you go. You don't have to worry about that, do you?
Not anymore.
You just have to worry about the codeine for your
That's right.
urgent care coughs.
Yep.
That come through,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what's your favorite part of urgent care? Do you have you like suturing the best, or?
Trauma.
You do?
Yeah, I started working in a trauma center, so just a lot of trauma, and so we would have people helicoptered in, and it was all kinds of fun stuff. You didn't have to. This was before COVID, before AIDS, before anything like that. So, you were elbow deep in blood and
Oh, yeah.
rushing and hurrying, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's for younger people. As I got
I know.
older, I got out of that. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I like the trauma. I like the suture. And
Are you a type A personality?
I don't know. Ask my wife. Am I a
know.
type A personality? Yeah. Yeah.
Usually type A's they're the ones that like I worked in the ER for 13 years, and I was great for the first 11. Then, I got burnt out, which is pretty unusual because normally it's about 3 to 5 years and you burn out from that, but I just thrived on it.
Yeah.
Gunshot wounds, let me at them.
Well, it was part of my decision to get out of that type of work was I would see people in the grocery store and they would come up to me and they say, "Oh, you saved my life," or "You were so good," or "You did this," and I didn't recognize them. But when you come in, you've had an auto crash and you got glass in your face and there's blood all over, your hair's a mess. You don't look the same as you do in the grocery
That's
store
exactly-
a month later.
that's right, that's
and
exactly
so
right.
I just wanted to know who my patients were.
Yeah,
And so that's one of the reasons I went into internal medicine.
yeah. I know, that was always frustrating to me, because you'd bring them upstairs, to bring them to the unit, and then you lost track of them. You didn't know what happened, and I'm
That too.
so nosy. I always have to know what happened at the very end. So, well, what else should we talk about? What's going on over there that's new? Anything?
We're still working on trying to get certified to do DOT physicals.
Okay.
And we're bringing in AWVs for our Medicare patients. Pretty much it right now. We just, like I said, we want to expand the primary care once I get another person. Because there's been a large influx of new patients. If you call the office, I'm booking out until June for a new patient appointment. But I get around that by telling the patients, come see me on a Saturday, because I'm working the urgent care. And since the price is the same, if you walk in on a Saturday to see me, even if you're coming to establish, you're going to pay the same copay price. And you get the same amount of care.
Well, you'll figure a way to see them, won't you?
Mhm.
That's part of your passion.
That is my passion.
Seeing them and taking care of them. And
Yes.
I think it's awesome.
So, like I had 3 DSS kids come in this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So their pediatrician is OIC, but they couldn't get them in until 2 or 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, and a DSS
Wow.
child has to have a physical once they enter into the
Okay.
the state.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've had a really good working relationship with DSS through the years. That if they need me, I'll squeeze them in somewhere.
You're pretty good at squeezing them in, aren't you?
Yeah.
How many hours a week do you work?
Between the nursing home and hospice, probably about 70 to 75.
You work a lot.
So
Yeah.
I always say, as long as I don't mind being tired in it, I just don't want to get tired of it. And that's why I left. That's
Yeah.
really why I left UNC.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because the day goes so by fast, and you find great rewardment in taking care of the community, and
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I'm still working, because I love my patients. I love my job.
right.
And I love taking care of them. So I just don't want to. I left. I went to part-time because of issues with the company I work for, not because I wanted to necessarily. I still work full-time. I just work in different places.
Right.
So I'm doing some regenerative medicine, so I'm injecting joints with stem cell signaling cells. So
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Imagine.
Yeah. I've seen a big improvement in my knee. I had stem cells twice and PRP once, and my knee doesn't hurt anymore. It's great.
That is good.
And the x-ray shows that there's some cartilage that I rebuilt, so I'm good with that. All right, sorry, I'm talking about myself, and I'm just not even paying attention to y'all. I'm too busy paying attention to my guests here. So we are live tonight. If you want to give us a call, give Dr. Emanuel a call, ask her questions. I'm sure I don't have a phone. Never mind. Maybe she doesn't want questions. But anyway, the phone isn't here. So we'll be back after a word from our sponsors. Don't go away, and we'll talk more about Nashville and what's going on there. Hang on.
Where you're more than just a number? At UNC Health Nash, you can get both. Take advantage of great benefits, including signing bonuses up to $25,000, student loan forgiveness, and much more. Plus, gain valuable frontline experience in an organization that prioritizes nurses' feedback. Apply today at nashnursing.com and discover how you can get big city benefits at this small town hospital.
Are you looking for the perfect space for your business in Rocky Mount? Discover the individual offices available on the 4th floor of the HealthView Capitol building in downtown Rocky Mount. These offices provide a professional environment with stunning views, ample natural light, and modern amenities in a secure environment. Join a community of thriving businesses and elevate your company to new heights. Rent includes utilities and Wi-Fi, and for an additional fee, you can have access to the building's gym. Schedule a tour today by calling Leanne Wester at 252-977-1616, extension 1012.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't rise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
Hello, welcome back. It's a new year, it's a new you, and this is also Here's Your Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center, and I'm here with Dr. Emmanuel and Wayne Tamborelli, and we're talking about all the services they have in Nashville. Dr. Emmanuel opened a clinic. How long has it been? Not even a year.
Not quite 7 months.
Oh my gosh, not even 7 months, and she's the talk of the town, I can tell you that, because I go to a lot of businesses in a lot of different places, and your praises are shouted, I can tell you that. So that's good. So Wayne let me talk about the phone. So I do have a phone, and we are live tonight. This is the 7th of February, so you can give us a call, 407-1111, and any of us will answer or try to answer your questions. So don't hesitate to call if you've got a question or a comment. Maybe you've seen either Wayne or Dr. Emmanuel in Nashville, and you just want to give a shout out and say what a good job they did. I'm sure they'd love to hear that as well. So Wayne is an author, and he has written a book called The Lady in the Window. And so he's going to talk about this and tell me all about it. So go ahead, Wayne. Tell me all about it.
Well, The Lady in the Window was initially the plan or the thought of the story came from my wife. And she decided that she wanted to write a first chapter. Well, it wasn't going to be a book. It was just something she was writing for our Writers Guild that we belong to. And when I read it, I thought, this is really not enough by itself. You need to make this a new book. She said, I don't want to write a book. So I spent the next 18 months working on this book, and absolutely became a passion. Every spare moment I had, I was trying to write down, and then you do your own editing and going back. And I did what's called pantsing it, which means you're writing it as you're thinking about it. So I didn't have a big outline. I didn't know what was going to be in chapter 36 when I was doing chapter 1. So I was going along, and then when you get to chapter 15, you get this really great idea, but something had to happen in chapter 2 to make chapter 15 happen. So you have to go back and rewrite chapter 2.
Okay.
And so I did a whole lot of that. And then when I finally got finished, I thought I needed a really novel ending. So when people read this book, and I'll show it again just so you know the cover. You can get it on Amazon. Just type in my name in the search box and it'll bring up The Lady in the Window. But when I got to the end of the book, I decided that it was fine. It was a good ending, kind of like a TV show. It would just end, but I wanted something more. So I tell people when they get this book, a lot of times people like to read the last chapter. Don't do that because it'll spoil it. So read from the beginning to the end, and the ending, the last chapter, is the epilogue, and I think it's really, really exciting. There's a lot of characters in the book, and you know where the characters are coming from. You know where they're going to. Some of the characters are like any other detective novel. They're just a small part of the murder mystery. But you get to understand who these people are through their interactions with each other and with the crime scene. And then the two main detectives, they have a great camaraderie. One is Detective Timmons and one is Detective Scott. And they just really get along well. They interact, they joke with each other. So you really can get a feel for, I want to cheer for these people. The main character is Julia, and Julia's actually, we start the story with Julia at her 88th birthday party,
Oh, wow.
but we will go all the way back to when Julia was a young teenager, and we'll flash back and forth in her life through her earlier years and her career, and then to her current life, the murders that take place, and you'll be flashing back and forth multiple times through the Depression and her marriage, World War II, and some interesting things that happened during World War II, which I don't want to give away. But you will be on the edge of your seat trying to know what's going to happen to Julia or for Julia. And the detectives themselves, in their interaction with her, they fall in love with her. Not romantically, of course, but, their compassion comes out. And so I really think that the characters in this book are people that we can identify with and root for. And the bad guys, of course, we don't hopefully identify with them, but we know people like that. Or we know of people like that,
Right.
and we can really hate them emphatically. They're bad people. And so, but again, even those people, I think I've done enough character development that you get to understanding where these people are coming from, why they are doing what they're doing, and even how they got to be there. So I think this is an enticing story for people. And I've had a lot of good feedback. We sold out the first day it was on the market in December 1st, sold out on Amazon. And
Really?
And we've sold out a couple of other times.
Wow, that's
We haven't gotten
impressive.
our copy yet.
Oh.
Do I?
I said, we still haven't received our copy
Oh.
yet.
You haven't?
No, we pre-ordered in December, so David's like, hey, looking on the Amazon app.
I will make sure that you get a copy.
Oh.
But
Wow.
But one thing I did learn that I didn't know, at the beginning I thought, your rating as a writer goes up based on how many books you sell. It does not. Not on Amazon. It depends on how many people read the book and then give a review.
Oh.
And so it's really important that you give a review, because that's how Amazon decides where to rate my book. So if somebody went and put The Lady in the Window and I've not gotten any reviews, they won't see my book. But the more reviews that come in, then the higher this gets placed on Amazon's tier.
Tricks to every trade, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I learned that, after the fact.
Yeah.
But that was okay. But it's a fun project, and I am right now writing a novella, which is not a follow-up to this story. It's a different story. So it's longer than a short story, but shorter than a novel. And that'll be the next thing I hope to get published. And I'm in the editing phase right now. And that's going to be a real family-oriented book. It's not going to be a mystery. It's going to be fun. Children will love it. Adults will love it. And then I'm also working on the sequel for this, but that's tough. You got to keep these detectives alive and get their family. They age, so you have to have the children have to have different characters than they were in the first novel and time. And you can't keep Julia alive forever, you know, she was 88 in this book. So it's just a passion. I love to write.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You just got really bright when you're talking about it. And
Yeah.
the smile's getting bigger, and I can tell that you're passionate about it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So what did you do? Call an editor and say, I'm writing a book, how do I do it? Or
No.
Or you go to a writer's guild.
Yeah, we belong to the Rocky Mount Writers Guild, and we meet, actually tomorrow, we meet once a month. We have to have something written, or we're supposed to have something written for each class, and we also have prompts, and we have to write for. And then we read our work, and just a nice social time. But no, I wrote the book with an intention of it being a book, and then when I got close to really finishing it, you know, I'm doing the editing and the re-editing and so on, reading it to my wife for the 300th time, and she's going, yeah, I remember that part. Can you go to the last chapter, you know? And so I finally got a publisher and got it published.
I think it's awesome. Just awesome. So does Turner have part in this novella that's coming up? Turner's his wife.
Turner knows the character that wrote this book. See, it's a book about a cat who wrote the book.
The cat wrote the book. Okay.
So imagine that, and we'll take it from there when it's printed.
It's going to be fun, too.
It will be fun.
During the break, I'm going to order my book, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get it.
That's right. I don't know.
So that's awesome.
No, I ordered one just to see how long it was going to take, and it took about a month and a half to come from Amazon. They have to get it from the publisher, and I think what they do is they get a certain number of orders, and then they order from the publisher in a
They're not
batch.
going to order one here.
Yeah, they're not
one
going to
there.
order one book
I
at a time
gotcha.
as they
Yeah.
come in.
Well, that makes sense. Oh,
We have a call.
hey, this is Linda and Dr. Emmanuel and Wayne. What's up? Hello?
Miss Linda, I wanted to know more about the weight loss program. It starts next Thursday, the 15th?
Yes, ma'am. Let me give you a number, and you text that number, and I'll send you more information. You got a piece of
And
paper?
thank you.
You got a paper and pencil?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 252-260-6006. Text me your name and that you called me and what you want to know, and I'll get back with you, and we'll do it that way.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good
Have a good
evening.
evening. Bye-bye. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
that was a show last week.
No.
So the book is The Lady in the Window. You can get it on Amazon, and we're gonna take a break here, and I'm gonna order mine right now because I've got Amazon Prime on my phone. So be sure you look for it, and then write a review, so then the rest of us who are trying to get books can get them, right?
Right.
Right, okay. And does Turner have any other point? I mean, she started with one chapter, and you took the book off from there, right? Did I
Right.
hear that right?
Right.
So does she have more input in this?
I think so. You know,
You all work together with it?
we do.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
You do jujitsu, and they write books, and I lay in my recliner. What can I say?
Well, I wouldn't be anywhere without my wife's help in anything that we do. So it's always a family project.
I think it's awesome. That's great. That's what brings people together and keeps them together.
Right.
Is, finding a passion that you want to do together. Can't do everything together, I guess, but
Right.
some people, I guess, can. But anyway. All right, we're going to take our next break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Dr. Emmanuel and Wayne about more of what's going on in Nashville, and any other questions you have. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
The benefits of a large hospital, but a culture where you're more than just a number? At UNC Health Nash, you can get both. Take advantage of great benefits, including signing bonuses up to $25,000, student loan forgiveness, and much more. Plus, gain valuable frontline experience in an organization that prioritizes nurses' feedback. Apply today at nashnursing.com and discover how you can get big city benefits at this small town hospital.
Are you looking for the perfect space for your business in Rocky Mount? Discover the individual offices available on the 4th floor of the HealthView Capitol building in downtown Rocky Mount. These offices provide a professional environment with stunning views, ample natural light, and modern amenities in a secure environment. Join a community of thriving businesses and elevate your company to new heights. Rent includes utilities and Wi-Fi, and for an additional fee, you can have access to the building's gym. Schedule a tour today by calling Leanne Wester at 252-977-1616, extension 1012.
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't arise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
All right, I am so disappointed. I tried to buy the book and it's currently unavailable, so you're going to have to do something, Wayne. I don't know what you have to do.
I had to get up on the horn with Amazon.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, is that a good thing? I guess it's good that you've sold out, but
It needs to be there.
yeah. Is
Yeah.
that the only way you can sell? I mean, can you?
No, you can actually go to the publisher, Book Baby, and they have a bookshop,
Uh-huh.
and you can order it there as well.
Okay. What is it called? Book Baby?
Book Baby, one word.
I'll look
And then
that
they have a
Okay.
bookshop.
up. Okay. Well, there you go. Book Baby, and then go to Bookshop, and then go to Wayne Tamborelli or to The Lady in the Window. So we're going back to Nashville now, back to the urgent care, and we're going to talk about the process. You walk in, what happens? You sit in the waiting room and they give you a glass of tea, or they say, take a number and we'll be with you in a minute. I don't know. So you tell me how that works. I don't care who answers, whoever wants to expound on it.
What's really, this was Dr. Emanuel's idea, and it was a great idea. When you're in the parking lot and you look at our building, it looks as if you have two practices side by side. You
It
have-
does, yeah.
You have a lobby and you have a lobby. And on her side, the primary care side, that's all those people will go in that lobby. And then from there, they get, I'm not sure, you'll have to tell them. On our side, they just sign in, and we try to get them back as quickly as possible. We have 6 exam rooms, so we try to get them back, people back. But sometimes there's 20 people at the door when we open, and there's a little bit of a wait in the lobby, but it's comfortable. But we're seeing people who are sick, had injuries, they have COVID, they get flu, bronchitis, pneumonia. While she's seeing people who are healthy maintenance people, diabetes, hypertension, and all the other myriad
Right,
things that she
right.
takes care of. We're not mixing those germs with her healthy patients. Yet, in the back of the building, it's one building, and we have one lab and one x-ray, and I think it's worked phenomenally. It was a great idea.
It looks like a U.
Uh-huh.
So typically kids that are 2 and under, because I have obviously a lot more pediatric experience being a pediatrician, even if they come in on the urgent care side, I will see those children. So I even have a place on my side that I use for a sick visit room, which is room 6, because I have 6 exam rooms, and so that room is designated as the child sick room. So they come in through the urgent care, and then they're brought directly to that room. So they're still not interacting with our well patients. And then they're tested and are waiting for me, and then I'll just mask up and go in and examine them after they've been swabbed.
Sure.
And then, of course, I watch the board sometimes, and sometimes I'll pick up some of my kids that are a little older. I know Wayne is not as comfortable with some of the younger kids, so I try to help him as much as I can, especially doing internal medicine, because, that's 18 and above. So prior to coming to my practice, I'm not sure how much experience he'd had with children, and if any, it had been a while. So they come in, they get registered, and they're also given the opportunity to wait in their car if they feel more comfortable waiting in their car, and we'll call them when their turn is next.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's first come, first serve. So, we're not skipping around. We're just going down the line. So if you get there at 8 o'clock and you're the first person in, you're going to get in and get out. So, average time in the exam room can be anywhere from 20 minutes to longer, depending on what you need to have done. But it takes at least about 10 to 15 minutes to run those tests.
Yeah.
So typically the nurses will get them in and go ahead and swab them, get the lab started, and then come back and get the intake.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and do
Yeah.
that. Right.
So the lab is running while they're getting
Sure.
the vitals
Sure.
and getting the...
That makes sense. It just kind of expedites things.
Right.
So when you bought that building or rent that building, did you pick that building because of how it was set up, or you remodeled it to what it is now?
We completely gutted it and remodeled
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I own that building with another partner.
Okay.
That's our building. There's a space on the end that a lady's renting from us that has a hair salon. I think her lease expires in 2 or 3 years. I'm not exactly sure the length of her lease, but once her lease expires, then we're going to expand.
Okay. Sounds to me like you probably need to expand now.
We do. We've come up with some creative ways. So the one thing we lack the most of is storage. So we have things stored in lots of places. So we have different receptionists for the urgent care and different receptionists for the primary care, but they rotate. Somebody will go over to the urgent care to relieve Kathy Raines, who usually sits at the primary care desk, so she'll get a lunch, and then somebody works on a Saturday because she doesn't work every Saturday.
Oh, that's good.
So, and then of course, I have staff that predominantly work on my side for my front desk, and then of course in the evenings I close at 5. They don't close till 7. They take their last patient at 6:30, but they don't close till 7. So one of the nurses will be the late nurse, and so they'll work from 5 to 7.
Yeah. So how many staff do you have?
I think we're at 17.
Is it that many?
I think we're at 17 now.
Wow. So you got receptionists and phlebotomists and nurses and
We have X-ray. So we have a X-ray lab manager, and then there's 2 X-ray lab people underneath her, and they rotate a schedule. And then I have 1 RN, a CMA, 2 CNAs, 3 people for front desk, and a referral specialist, my office manager, and Wayne and Haley and myself.
And I hear you've got a pretty nice staff that they seem to be happy where they're working.
They are. Some of my staff has been with me from my days at Eastern. 2 in particular have been with me for 18 years. My lab X-ray manager was with me at Eastern for I think 13, 14 years before she retired to take care of her mom. I'm trying to think. I brought Lindy with me. I've known Lindy from day one.
I knew
She's
Lindy.
my RN. Yeah.
She worked in the ER with me 100 years ago.
Well, she worked with Dr. Crocker. as
She
his
was very
nurse
young
for
when-
a long time, and then so she was the hospital nurse for about
Maybe
12
that's how I know her.
12 years.
Maybe I didn't work with her in the
Yeah,
ER.
and Dr. Crocker, and then when UNC took over our practice, she was working with me over in the Nashville office.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, I mean, so our staff is pretty much predominantly handpicked, or Kathy was my patient, so I asked her to join us from dermatology. We did hire Caitlin, a newer person that's just a little bit younger, but you know, she's doing really well. She's been with us since we started. Yeah, so we have a really great staff.
And that's what makes working there, that's part of what makes it so nice, is that we do have really good people that do a good job, but they're also really nice people to work with. There's no chips on shoulders, there's nobody
Right.
bucking a hierarchy or anything of this nature, and, you know, it's this is her term, it's very family. We're a family, and it feels like it feels like that. So Haley and I get along exceptionally well, and Lindy and our CNA, and you know, we have a part-time. We have Marina. We forgot
Oh
about.
yeah, I forgot about Marina. Sorry.
So we have, you know, just a great staff, and we can ask something to be done, and we know it's going to be done. We know it's going to be done correctly, and they smile. Patients love it. So our patients are
that's-
happy with them.
You know, you can tell when you walk into an office how well it's run and how happy people are by just. I used to work where I work used to be like that. It's lost that since it was bought over by a corporation.
That's what happened with me at Eastern, honestly. So, and that's not the type of medicine that I want to
I
be
know.
affiliated with. So,
I know.
You know, if we have dress down day on Friday, we wear jeans. I bought everybody T-shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve shirts that have our logo and where the back, the motto, where everyone is family. You know,
Makes a big difference when you're treated well and you are, you know, esteemed and you appreciate whether you're a CNA or a PA, that you appreciate what they do, and you know you've got to have all of it. You can't function without the CNA any more than you can function without the PA. And when you treat people well and are kind to them, then they're happy to come to work.
That's right.
So she stole one of our employees, but I gave her a glowing review, so it's okay. I want Mary to be happy.
and she's been a great addition to our practice.
She's sweet. She's real
very
sweet.
sweet.
So, yeah, it's all right. You can steal away. It's okay.
And actually, a lot of the patients know her when they're coming in to register, and that's always helpful if you see
A friendly face or somebody you know or know of, and yeah, it makes a big difference. So,
Yeah, and our children have, Ernestine has watched a lot of our children grow up. My oldest child right now is, will be 19 this year, and she was my first baby when I started in
Wow.
2005. And now she has a baby sister. Yeah, Mom started over. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh. So, and then the nice thing is, you took care of them. You don't have to kick them out because they're no longer fit under the peds blanket. You
Right.
know, so you
Right.
can pick them up as an adult and still take care of them, which is really nice.
Well, that's why I did med peds. Like I said, I love the pediatric portion, but I also really enjoy internal medicine. And I didn't want to have to say, "Oh, you've outgrown me." You know, you need to find an internist. Because I think it helps that I know the family and the family
Sure,
history.
I
and,
think so too.
You know, I have a family that has 4 generations, and so I know everything from the great grandmother to the brand new baby. So.
That's part of what I like about what I do is I know them or know their sisters or know their mamas, and I'm like you. I've got some families that I've got grandma and daughter and her daughter and you know that kind of thing. And I'm real community oriented and family oriented anyway. Excuse me. So it just kind of fits into who I am and how I like to do things. But you know, we've got so many providers, not just where I work, but in our town as a whole, that they're not involved in the community. They're not part of our community. They come here to work. They come here to fill a shift, and then they go back to where they are. And I think you really lose something in care when you do that. When it's just a job instead of a passion.
Right.
And you've got that passion.
I do. I mean, I do a lot of things with the community. I sponsor 2 race cars. I try to be active with, different organizations. If I'm asked to speak at a function, I'll do that. Been pretty active with the Hiawassee Pony Tribe, which
That's great.
It's important to me as well.
But you're not a Hiawassee.
No, I'm Lumbee.
Lumbee. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you were. Yeah. So I think that's awesome too.
But if I can't take care of my tribe, at least I can take care
That's
of
right.
That's
That's
other
exactly
indigenous
right.
people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think that's great.
So, I mean, I'm pretty invested in this community. I'm
Oh
not
yes,
going
I don't.
anywhere.
I don't think anybody's going to question that at
No,
all.
and I'm not planning to leave anytime soon.
Mhm.
So,
And obviously Wayne is, because they're all my neighbors, y'all. We all live within probably 5 miles of each other. So
Yeah.
That's right.
I know where you live now too. I can
Yeah.
stalk you as well.
Okay.
I don't have time to stalk anybody, that's for daggone sure. So tell us again what your hours are and how we get, where exactly are you? I know you're in Nashville, but what's your address?
so we are in Nashville, behind Bojangles, across the street from Rib Eyes. That's the best
Everybody
way.
knows where that is.
Yes. So, and the new Dunkin' Donuts. And
Uh-huh.
so we right there in the middle of all of the fast food restaurants, unfortunately. But we're open Monday through Friday, and the primary care side Monday through Thursday 8 to 5, Friday 8 to 1, and then the urgent care is open Monday through Thursday 9 to 7, 8 to 5 on Friday, and 8 to 1 on Saturday.
And it's all,
The urgent care is
all
all
walk-in. You have to have an appointment to see
You have to have an appointment to see me.
Okay.
But if you show up in the urgent care and you say, I really wanted to see Dr. Emanuel, I need to see Dr. Emanuel, I'll walk over there. I've
Yeah.
walked over there plenty of times to see patients.
Yeah. Get all your steps in, don't you?
Yeah, going back and forth. I do. You can, in the office, they joke with me because I wear heels every day, and you can tell when I'm going over there because it's like bum, 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 bum.
Click, 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 click on that
Yeah,
tile. It's
yeah.
probably a tile floor. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. You
So
wear
when-
heels too, Wayne?
No, no, I don't. But when I see that chart come across and I see that it's 2 months old, it's like this hair that I don't have stands up on my head.
I can see a couple spears up there.
And she comes right on over, so that's very good.
So, and that's really good because I mean it's the same EMR, so I can watch. I
Sure,
watch their
sure,
board,
of course.
and try to fill in when I can and help out. Especially during this last couple of months when it's been really
Yeah.
heavy COVID
Yeah.
RSV. Because I mean, I think my youngest patient with COVID was a 1-month-old right after Christmas.
Oh,
So
yeah. And do you test for both adult and children RSV or just children?
just children. Insurance companies don't reimburse for testing for above 2.
Really?
Yes. I
But
found
that-
that out the hard way.
But now they've got, you know,
They have a vaccine.
for adults
I
and they're
know.
pushing it and
I know. Because typically RSV in adults just presents as the common cold.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand. I mean, typically the sick patients that I've had with RSV have been children. I mean, if I really think somebody, because you can tell that cough sounds like croup.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. It's a croupy cough. So I've pretty much nailed it every time when I hear that cough that's RSV. So you can tell. And I've tested a couple adults here and there just to see, and you know they've been positive, but.
That's just fascinating to me that you've got all this push for adult RSV and insurance doesn't cover it.
It doesn't cover the test.
The testing, well, I guess they probably cover the immunization.
They
I
do. They do. Medicare is really good about covering that vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we don't offer that vaccine because it's very expensive, and being an independent, it's more expensive.
Yeah,
than what
we
I
don't
can-
either. We don't give COVID at our
No, I
office
don't either.
So that, I guess they go to the pharmacies for all that.
Mm-hmm. But we do offer all of your standard immunizations for children, both state and private. I also have Prevnar 20 for adults and kids. and I'm not offering shingles because it's expensive too, so.
But you can write the prescription.
Yes, and I do.
And they can go to
Mhm.
the pharmacy and get
And I
it.
have a really good working relationship with Drug Co. where
Mhm.
I'll write the prescription and they'll administer the vaccine.
Yeah, that is one of the best pharmacies, I think. And I push small, mom and pop pharmacies because I think you get better treatment. They have more drug availability. Why, I can't tell you, but
Because they order from more than
One
one
place,
manufacturer.
yeah.
And these big pharmacies are limited to ordering from one manufacturer. So if there's a back order on a medication, then they're not getting it.
Yeah.
Whereas these little independents can shop around
Mhm.
and get drugs
Yeah.
from different different vendors.
Yeah. I guess you probably know Drug Co. for a long time, because aren't they originally from Roanoke Rapids?
Roanoke Rapids, yes, and we had one in our clinic up there as well. So there's 3 up there in Roanoke Rapids now. But I've had a long relationship with them, and
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I mean, I've been dealing with them as a patient for a long, long time.
Mhm.
But when patients don't have a pharmacy, or they don't particularly have a concern about where they're going to go for their drugs, I always guide them to Drug Co. because they can get their medicine the day I write the prescription, and that's
Yeah,
really
it's
important.
usually there within 20 minutes. By
Right.
the time
Yeah.
you send
Right.
it through the EMR,
Yep,
they can go and get it, which
Mhm.
is not what happens with some of the other pharmacies either. So-
right.
Well, thanks so much for coming. I really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having
Thank you for having
I'm
us.
excited about your book, even if I can't buy it.
There's your copy.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
You're
so-
welcome.
I'm-
But now you have to read
Now
it.
you need to get him
I-
to autograph it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't have a pen. I know
Oh.
you got a pen.
I do.
All right, I'm going to say goodnight while he is signing my book. That is exciting. And now I feel bad because you don't even have yours yet. Jeez.
She will when she leaves.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for being part of this new year and new you. And we will see you next week is Valentine's Day, so I will not be here. I'm going to be out eating. So I'll see you in 2 weeks with more of Here's to Your Good Health. Good night.